Hey, Handyman Walking with Jesus here. I'm here in the kitchen, drinking a cup of coffee. I wanted to share with you, we've been working on the kitchen, you know all that. But my wife has been asking me to build a fence. She didn't want a wooden fence. She wanted a metal fence or something that would hold up, because wooden fences, as you well know, or most of you know, or some of you know, over time the wood kind of deteriorates and the gravity pulls down the center rail and they kind of all fall apart. So she kept on asking about a metal fence. The other day I happened to be on Craigslist and I saw a pile of oil field sucker rod. I don't know if you know what that is. It's 25 feet, 3/4 inch round rods that they use in the oil wells. And the guy had 120 pieces for $6 a piece. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cheap. I said, I might want to go look at it. So I went over and took a look at it. And after I saw it, I said, I think I'll take it. And so I went ahead and paid him. Went over a couple of weeks later, picked it up and brought it home, dumped it out in the driveway, and then I started to cutting it up. I wanted to cut it up into 3 sections, so each piece is about 8 foot. And I started with an idea like this, and I'll bring it over here where you can see it. This is this just popped into my head. Sucker rod. We're going to bring the sucker rods up. This is going to be concrete down here. I just drew it out real rough, and it was super rough. I couldn't even really tell what was going on. I was going to use sucker rod here to hold up, and I thought about putting ceramic tile pieces. And so we kind of looked at some ceramic tile and how it might fit in there, and the different sizes and shapes and colors. And the more we looked at it, we thought, no, that's not going to work. So we kind of scrapped that idea. Then I drew out this paper, and this is a paper with different size panels. So this is a 4x4 post, and we drew out some different panels here. These are 18 by 18, 24 by 24, 2 feet by 3 feet, just to kind of get an idea of what I thought maybe the fence might look like. Sucker rods, of course, are going up from the concrete down here, holding all these pieces up. So it's still real rough. My wife couldn't figure it out. I showed it to her. And so anyway, I wound up going from there, I made a little model of the fence. And so this is the model of the fence. This is concrete. These are the sucker rods. These are the panels. So I kept thinking, okay, what am I going to use for panels? I don't want to use metal. So I'm going to use Hardy Boy siding. And these are going to be all Hardy Boy siding pieces. Hardy Boy is a concrete, it's a mixture of concrete and something, but I put it on buildings before, and it never rots. It doesn't, it's pretty strong. I mean, it's not real strong. You could probably kick this and break it, but we're not kicking the fence. This is just to look at it. So anyway, this is the model. This is the inside of what it's going to look like from the inside our yard. Now the back is like this, and this is real rough, so I changed that around and made a different piece so you could see it a little better. So this is the back side, and probably going to go with these same colors on the back side. So the rods are here. You can't see it. The back side doesn't have as much dimension as the front side. So this is going to be the back side. This is all metal work up here that I have to cut and weld and put on the top. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go out and show you some of the sucker rod and some of the parts that we're actually working on getting prepared to do the fence. But this gives you an idea of what we're going to create. So we're still working on it. But so let's run outside and take a look at the pieces that I've already got done. So here we go. Okay, we've got the sucker rod out here. This is the sucker rod I bought. I've cut it all up. It's 8 feet and I think 3 inches each piece of this. So I've got it all cut up out here. I had to cut each piece. I had a chop saw and I used it. Here's our dog Rome. He's out here making sure it's okay. And Rome, is it okay? Huh? He's not going to say anything today. But anyway, so this is the sucker rod, and it's going to be standing up in the concrete. So kind of give you a little idea. I've got a lot more pieces involved in this. So let's go over and take a look at the next stuff that I'm working on. Yeah, these are the 4x4 posts that I decided I was going to use. These are 4x4, 12 foot long, and I've got them sitting over here covered up so that they don't get a lot of water on them and stuff. You could use round posts on your fence, but I just thought the 4x4, and I picked these up. So $51 a piece, so I've got all the posts there for the fence. Anyway, let's go to the next section. Okay, I purchased the steel that I'm going to use in the fence. It's right here. I've got to cut this up. This is 1/2 inch angle iron. I've got some 3/4 inch square tubing, some other pieces. I'm going to show you as we go along how I'm going to cut these up and incorporate them in the fence. Okay, let's go over to the next section. Okay, so I ordered some Hardy Boy 4x8 sheets. This has got a rough texture, wood-like texture. I took this part of the fence down. I had this, our old fence, our old chain link fence, somebody ran into it, tore it all up, so that's part of the reason we're going to redo this fence. Anyway, so I mark out all the cuts that I need, and then I cut them. And so I have a lot of the panels over here. If you want to look over this way, I've already cut a lot of the panels. I've got a stack right here of these are the 2x2 panels. I've got 2 feet by 22 inch. I've got 2 feet by 3 feet, and I've got some 23 by 7, 23 by 9. I've got 23 by 12. Then I've got my 18 by 18s over here. I've got 18 by 9s here. So these are the different panels that I'm going to incorporate in the fence. Now we're going to, we still got to do some cutting the little squares in the design. We're going to paint all these before we put them up. We're going to paint them on the front and the back so that they're ready to go once we get the fence posts set up and all that. I want to mention something to you very important on this Hardy Boy siding. Of course, I didn't read the stuff, the warnings that it said. So the first day I was out here, had my saw, got a carbine tip. I had a diamond saw, that's what it was. I started with a diamond blade saw because I already had it. I thought, oh, I'll use this. Well, the diamond blade makes a lot of dust. And I didn't wear any goggles, no breathing stuff or anything. So I cut up 2 or 3 panels with my diamond saw, looking good, and kept working and did some other stuff after that. And it was hot out, so I was sweating a little bit. The sweat got down in my eyes, and then of course I had the sweat or the dust on my forehead, and then it went right into my eyes. And boy, I tell you what, the rest of the day from about 10 o'clock in the morning till I went to bed, my eyes were burning, I was watering, but they were just, so I got this concrete dust in my eyes. So, with that said, I decided to do something. So I put on this pink headband of my daughter's, and I got my dust mask, which is that I use sometimes to paint, which I usually don't use. So I put this on. So anyway, I got my mask, my thing, and then of course I got my goggles. And now I'm ready to saw. Plus, you can't hear me. Let me take this off now. So we've got everything set up just about. So we're going to go from this. We're going to start putting our post in. We'll put the concrete in, put the rods in, all that. So that's going to be part 2 of this video. So this is part 1, and we have a part 2, and we may have a part 3 because I wanted to kind of split it up so it's not super long for you to watch. But anyway, it's going to be very interesting, super design. Of course, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you want to, you can even call me on the phone and ask me. I'll put my number down here down below. So if you want to call me, be sure and text me first and say, hey, I'm asking about, because I get so many calls for scam calls. I'm sure you guys get some scam calls too. So anyway, text me. Subscribe if you want. Check out some of my other videos. Have a blessed day. Keep walking with Jesus. And see you on the next video.